welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Angela and this is Angela Kerr Designs. I'm taking part in my daily spread collaboration. This is which you've heard all before, so I'm going to not repeat too much of it. It's RachandBella Crafts collaboration, and it's a 30-day project running for the month of June. All right, so as you know, there are daily prompts. We have two creative people putting together a project to share with you on YouTube. And yeah, it is an amazing opportunity to follow along and be inspired. The other thing I need to mention is if you're needing to follow along and you haven't got the list, which it looks like this, please pop over to RachandBella's website. You'll find the breakdown of who's still to follow and what the prompt is for them to do. Mine today is a free theme, so I'm able to do whatever I choose, which is lovely. And my partner today is Amy Kreckman. All right, so yeah, I think if you haven't grabbed the kit already, they are in Rach's website shop, and I think maybe her Ko-fi, and I'm sure she's got a discount on offer there for you as well. All right, now let's get to it. What have I made? So I have made this little cutie, and as I said to you today, my prompt is a free theme. And what I thought I'd share with you is my love for quotes and gratitude. So I've made a little quote and gratitude little mini journal, and this is really easy. If you are a person who likes to do arts and craft workshops or anything like that, especially around Christmas time or any time of the year, this would be a great project to make. All right, so it's really easy. It's nice and slimline. Look at that. And you could roll these off for all sorts of crafts and fairs, or you know, just for yourself. It'll fit perfectly into a handbag and purse, so I think you can't go wrong. Right, so I have used Rach's shabby kit. I didn't print out the pages because 3 weeks have passed already, so I'm sure you've heard it all, so I wasn't going to do that again. I thought I would get right into it and make a start. So this is it. It's a cute little journal. As I say, it's got a pocket on the back there, so you can put it in your little goodies. I've just attached a fastener, which I was going to put an eyelet through, which I didn't. I forgot. I was going to put an eyelet over here, but you don't need to. If you don't have an eyelet, there you go. It's a loose closure. You open it like that. I've got just a little bit of lace I put on there. I've added some collaging with some of Rach's lovely fabric swatches and clusters, and I've just stuck on a little flower. You open it up like this. You've got a spot to put in your quotes, and I collect quotes, and I have a Instagram quote page which is just for quotes. So if you like an inspiring quote in the morning or a reflective one in the evening, go over to Acquired Strength and you can follow along. They're nice to keep in there, so that's what I thought, especially if you're writing about gratitude. But you could also write them on the back of pieces of ephemera as well, so that's why I've stuck these in. These are all from her kit. Really pretty. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so we have a little pocket over here, and inside there is one of her tags. I did enlarge this tag to make it bigger. That goes in here, and I thought the reason for the tag is in the little journal booklet in here, you could use this as a bookmark up to mark where you are on the pages when you're writing in there. So that's what that's for. Then I've just collaged on the front here with a couple of bits and pieces from the kit, which is lovely. And then you get over the page. I've just decorated there, and then I've got this whole booklet here from Rach's pages. Got two of her pages designs in here, and I've just added my own lacy paper because I like using that, and it's a shabby design, so I've put, this is Rach's, this is my avocado paper. All right, so I've just alternated those there. I put in 12 sheets and I cut them in half, and that's what's in here. All right, so I've just sewn them in, kept them plain, because you might want to use this as a devotional journal, quote journal, or I'm going to use it like a little great gratitude journal. All right, so that's everything there. And then you've got your bit that closes there. That's the bit that goes over. As I say, I really should put an eyelet in there. And then on the back, you've got a little pouch to keep any other bits and pieces that you want to in there. All right, and then your closure just goes back on again. So let's make a start on it, and let me show you what you need. So what I needed was, and I've printed these all 50%, half the size, 2 to a page if you do what I do. All right, so this is half the size, the full page, half the size, one of these. This is from her shabby kit. And then I've also got half size of this page, this page, so these 2 collage pages, and then I've just printed 2 of these, which are, I think it's the very first page on her pages. All right, so you've got those pages that you need. And then of course for the booklet part, exactly the same. I've used this, done exactly the same with that. All right, so I've got a sizable booklet there ready to go, and that's just the half size pages again. All right, so what I did here was pretty simple enough. I used this background page and I stuck it on each of, not that one, keep that one aside, onto the back of this. So the way I did that is pretty simple. I'm just gonna show you one, and then you'll be good to go. You can use any glue you like. I did sew around the edges of mine, but guys, that's not a necessity, okay? I would suggest though that using a stronger glue if you're not gonna sew than glue stick. Okay, so all you need to do is get your glue stick or wet glue onto your paper and get that stuck on, and just trim off the excess, of course. There you go. And if you've got any other little bits that aren't quite right, you can just trim those off as well. As long as these 2 are exactly the same size, you want one like that and you want the other one like that. Okay, right, so I don't need that piece anymore. I did then go and stitch around the edge there for both of these, but as I said, it's not a necessity. There you go. When it comes to the underside, and sometimes the holes look a little large, what you do there is just run your bone folder quite firmly and flatten those holes at an angle. It gets rid of the holy bit. All right, so that's all you need to do, which is pretty amazing. Okay, so there's the one and there's the other. All right, now I'm going to put this on the left, I'm going to put that on the right. This bit is going to be this side and this bit on that side, so that's why I've got it like that. Okay, I did use my scoreboard for this. If you don't have a scoreboard, a grid mat is a great alternative because it's got the measurements there for you. But just for the purposes of this video, I'm going to use this and we will start. So I put a little drawing together here for my own reminders. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is, this is what I call the left side of the cover. We're going to take our bone folder, make sure that's right up to the edge there, and 1 3/4, which is this one here, we're going to score a line. Okay, and then the very next notch to the left of 1 3/4, we're going to score another line. Okay, so it's got like 2 lines there. Right, and then I want you to turn this around and do the same. So you've got 1 3/4. All right, now and then I want to do the notch to the right of that. Remember, I have turned this around. Okay, right, so that's what you've got. You've got 1 3/4 and the notch to the left, and you turn it this way, 1 3/4 and a notch to the right. Okay, so there's your first one. And then the other one is 1 3/4 there, and then a notch to the right. And then on the other side, it's just the 1 3/4. Let me close the window. All right, I hope that wasn't too confusing. Okay, now we can just go and fold those like that. And then on the other one as well. Okay, and then this side. I hope you guys are all having fun with the collaboration and following everybody. It's always encouraging as the creator to see that people are enjoying and supporting their video, because it is a lot of work to put it together. So I do encourage you just to watch their videos and leave a like and maybe a comment if you could do that. Lots of newer people and it's hard to get going. I can attest to that. All right, so there we go. There's my little diagram. If you wanted to take where the little dotted line is, it means left or right of that initial 1.75. All right, and just for those of you who don't know what 1.75 is in centimeters, I will tell you it is 4.5 centimeters. Okay, 4.5. All right, so let's now just put this together. So you've got this like this. What I want to do, this will be your back pocket, so you can open that a little bit. We will be putting that in there. All right, that will be going in there. That's also the place where we sew in our notebook. All right, so that's that, and that'll go like that. This is also where we put in our little pocket where the tag goes. All right, then that'll close in there and go like that. All right, so that's how it should really be. Okay, let's start putting some of these things together. So I'm going to just grab my 2 little clips here so we can make a start and closing some of these things. Right, not all of it, but just some. So here we want to just close this one on the left cover. All right, that's just a pocket, so we want to just close that. And that can stay there like this for the moment. Now we're not going to put this together quite yet, because I want to sew in the little notebook first, so that when you look at it on the back, you then don't have that sewn in business over there. Okay, so you want to grab your papers. I have just trimmed them there to be even. All right, that's the only thing I've done, and that is going to go in there. They're pretty much the same width as the pages are, and if you want that slightly less, then you can just trim that down. All right, so it's a good fit there. I'm happy with that, and you can see I've got space there as well. All right, so the way to do this is pretty simple. You're just going to line that up nicely. All right, and you're going to take your 2 clips, and we're just going to do a 5-hole pamphlet stitch here really quickly, and I'm just going to go in the middle with my pokey tool at the top, in the middle there, at the bottom here. And you could put an elastic closure in here and instead, and replace the notebook bit when it was full. You could do that. All right, so now I've got my little holes. I'm just going to do this ever so quickly. So Alright, so a good idea here is just to give it a little tug like that, 2 knots, and there you have it. Okay, don't need that anymore. Right, so we have got our notebook stitched in. Okay, you can give it a nice press there now, so our notebook's good to go. This is going to be for our pocket. So while I've got it out here, here's the half page for the pocket. I'm going to fold that in half. I'm going to give it a little trim, and the trim is going to be so it's slightly narrower, just slightly narrower, like 1/8 of an inch. I'm just taking off, so 1/8 of an inch is like a couple of millimeters, and then I'm going to just trim another 1/8 of an inch just off the side here. Okay. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to just take my circle punch, or if you've got a tab punch, just get that there. And we can then just give it a light inking. Oh, my tummy's doing all sorts of things. I've just eaten some trail mix, which is nuts and cranberries and things. Now my tummy's having a great time just digesting it all. It is late here, it's after 8 o'clock at night. But we're coming up to the summer solstice, so it's long days. At 10:30 it'll still be light. So I thought, well, I might as well make use of it and get this in. Right, so, okay, so now what I want to do is I want to just ascertain where I want to place this, and it's about like that. I don't mind that it's going to go over just a little bit. That's okay. We've got plenty room there, so that's okay. And then I'm going to just take my pencil, which I did have, and just draw a line here. That's going to be, oops, my placement line. All right, I don't want the pencil on my paper. Okay, so that's where I need to glue up to. All right, so here's the pencil line. I want to just get that glue right to the edge here, so that when you put in your tag, it's not going to be catching on this. So right up to the line. Right, just the one side. And then what we'll do is we'll open that up. And let's open that up and get that on that line. Okay, it's slightly shorter on each side, which is what I wanted. And then you just give that a nice press. Okay, there we go. And now you just want to put some glue on that side. All right, and now hold that down. Perfect, perfect pocket. So you've got our pocket, we have got everything there, and I wanted to put some lace on here, so let me do that. Right, so I'm going to put some lace onto the edge of this little notebook. So I'm just going to get that. This is the end of the bottle, so I'm hoping it gives me, it's the last little bit in here before I get rid of it. Right. Now what we want to do is let's put a little bit of decoration on here. So I've got some of Rach's little fabric swatches, which are so cute. Love these. Makes it easy, so it's all good to go. So we're going to get this on over here. All right, and then one of the little clusters. Life is beautiful. And as they say in Grey's Anatomy, it's a beautiful day to be alive. Just over there. And then one of her little words, a little piece of happiness. Isn't that perfect? This is a very inspiring little book with all these little quotes. So we're going to get that just there. And great for gratitude. And gratitude is something we should definitely give every single day. I do. Okay, so we've got all of that there. I did have a little bit of something on the side, so I've gathered some other bits. So again, a little fabric swatch. Just a little bit of decoration and this little one. All right, perfect. And then I've got Journey with Beautiful Memories. Perfect, I like that. Okay, so those are your pockets. That one a little bit skew, maybe. All right, so we've got all of that bit done. Now I did want to put an eyelet in here, so I am going to grab it. It's just on my desk. And I'm going to put that into this bit here. So let's just see. Right, and then we're all good to go on that front. The back we're going to put in the little pocket. So before I get this stuck down, I'm going to do the decoration as well. So here it is. So again, one of these little fabric swatches, which are just so cute and handy. All right, so let's get that in. Just see exactly where I want it. Okay, so here. All right. And then we've got this lovely little bigger cluster. She had some bigger ones. Right, and we'll get that over there. And then this little sentiment. There we go. So that's the front cover. Awesome. Okay, now we want to get that on the back there. All right, and you can see that's going to cover your stitching as well. So all you need to do is get some glue down the side there, make it fairly substantial, and then just above that first fold line. Okay, and then you want to just get that in place. Now getting glue everywhere now. I'll sort that out in a minute. There we go. All right, so I would suggest just putting a clip on there for a minute. Yeah. Okay. And while that's drying, I will put on my closure. Right, so I have just got some crinkle ribbon that I had, and I'm going to put that through. This is about 1 meter. All right, so I'm going to get that through there like that, and then I'm going to just tie the ends with little knots. Okay, so we've got that in place for when we want to sort that out. And now the exciting bit, we're just going to add our little bits inside here. Oops, bit of glue there. Where's my little eraser? All right, what we want to do is, here's our little tag. I put a little bit of velvet in there, and I'm going to just put that in there. That'll go into that there. Then I have got another little tag which I've just put a piece of lace in. So it's a smaller tag. I'm going to just put that in there. And then just get a couple of these bits and pieces in here. So we've got this little lady. And we'll put that lady on the back. I can't remember what I put in the back. Oh, okay, so her and that one, and that one, and that one are going in the back, and these are going in the front. There we go. All right, so you've got all of that there. You've got your little booklet over there with its pocket, yeah, and lots of place for writing. You could actually put a pocket there as well. And then we're going to add these little bits to the back. So we've got that one, we've got that little one. Oh, I think I'll have this way. There we go. All right, so that will go in there. That goes over once and once. That's it. Once and once again. Okay, everybody, there's our little journals made. As I say, I think that these would make a great little project to have on sale if you're doing those craft fairs. So have a go at this. I mean, any paper for the covers would work. So you could use any single-sided printed leftover sheets you have from other kits. And yeah, just dress them up accordingly. All right, go and check out what everybody else is doing. Go and have a look what Amy's doing. And thank you so much for watching. If you would like to leave a like and comment, that would be gratefully received. Take good care of yourselves and enjoy the rest of the collaboration. Bye-bye.